Hi everyone, good morning. Let me share my screen. You can see my screen?
Yes, Nishant.
Okay. Okay, so today we'll learn about the Redux. So basically this is also library. Mostly we use with React and Angular. So we'll check why we use that, okay, and how we use that. These two things. Okay, cool. And after that I need your email ID to share the some interview question with you guys. This is JavaScript, I think 1 minute. Okay. So we have around 30, 30 to 40 question, okay, on JavaScript, and around 35 or 36 question on React. So these two, most of the interview they were asking this question only. So we'll share with you guys. So today we'll discuss about the Redux first, why we use it, and what are the problem we were facing that we want to overcome by using that Redux. Okay. Hope today it will record all the things. Okay, cool. So let me open that paint. React. So basically what will happen if we are going to use that, suppose we use a big application, like so inside the big application, like one component have multiple child, like component first had component 2 child, component 2 had component 3 child, component 3 had component 4 child, may around nested of child component. So that time passing, so we know, right, like when we have to pass data from one component to other component, we use props, okay. But what will happen if you have 100 child, every child you have to pass the props, so that become very difficult to manage all the things that the come under the props drilling concept. So handling that props, passing that props is quite difficult. Sometime you missed, right, it's probably you miss that some of the component, right. So for overcome of this, okay, like I am on right now I'm in parent, I have to send the 10th child, okay, or 100th child. So what I will do, first I will send on first child, second child, third child, fourth child. So it will become the chain, right. It will become the drilling, like the concept, like you have to drill by one by one. So that's why it's called that props drilling concept. So overcome of this, we will use, either we will use context API or we will use Redux. So today we will discuss the Redux things. So what is the Redux, why we use it, okay. So first of all, this is React. So keep it like React only, or React. This is Redux, okay. So React is also a library and Redux is also a library, okay. These are the two different library. See, React is a different library, Redux is a different library, okay. So we will use redux with react. We will use redux with react. Okay, so basically redux has three main pillar. Okay, one is I'll create one block. Just create the different sum. Okay, one. Okay, this is called action. Reducer, and this is our store. So today we learn only about the concept. Cool. So as we know, or else just make little different. This is one more time. Yeah, cool. So this is our React. This is our Redux. Okay. Inside that we have to uh, like we will use three things called action, reducer, and a store. Action, a reducer, and third is store. Okay, cool. So this is the main pillar of Redux, and as we know, React and Redux are two different libraries. Two different libraries. So first we have to uh, like this is my app, like React app. Okay, so first of all, how we will call this app? So what first, how first we will learn the what is the structure, how it's work. Then we will learn like how we can connect. Then we will learn what the use of action, reducer, and a store. Okay, so as we know, with the help of Redux, what we are doing, we are fixing the prop drilling concept. What we are doing, using Redux, we can fix props drilling. Okay, then second thing is what is redux. So if someone will ask what is redux, then we will say redux is like central store management system, right? Or like a state management library, a state management library. Okay, ry library, maybe some spelling mistake. Okay, okay. So uh, like redux is a state management library that's provide like central store to manage all the state. Basically what is this, a state management library. So okay, so like suppose we have multiple component, right? Every component has such uh, state, right? So that a state we can manage within one store. Like redux provide one central store, one store. Inside that we can keep all our state in one place. Okay, cool. Now what is action, what is reducer, and what is store? So 1 minute. I am creating this section. Basically these are the part of this, but when we have to call it, just I am giving this for reference only. Not this action. Okay, then I'll create one more called reducer. Reducer, and then store. Okay, cool. Suppose uh, let's take a real time example first. Suppose I have to send some money. Suppose I'm working in some company. I didn't have phone pay. I didn't have what is it? Bank account. Like I'm living like in 90s, right? I didn't have anything. I have to send my like parcel or some money order to my home. Okay. So what we will do? First of all, first of all, I will go to nearby some parcel office or some post office, anywhere. Then what we will do? We will take two things. We will take one envelope. Inside the envelope, we will put money. Okay, or on top, and on top we will write the address. Okay, we'll write the address. Cool. So basically, what we will do? We will give two things. One is address, other is the money. Okay, the same way. Okay, the same way, reducer has the all three step. Action works like action take two things. Suppose you have to do something. First of all, you have to give the type. What is this type? Okay, action take two things. Who else joining now? Quite late. Okay, action takes two things. One is type. Some type. After that, you can give payload or some value. Okay, 1 minute. Let's create little bigger one. Hmm. What are things it takes? It takes two things. One is type, and second thing it takes payload, or you can data. This will be a data, any kind of data, simply. Okay, so now action will take two things: type and payload. Like I have to send money to my home, or to my father or mother. So what we will do? We'll take an envelope. This is the envelope. On the top of the envelope, we will write that address of my home, and inside the envelope, we'll put the money. The same thing, action, like we'll give one type. Like this action is for what? Either for user, either for product, for which you are going to do that. So that's why we use type. And what is the value? Like suppose you are calling one API, right? The same way, data is there, right? Data is there. Data called here, we are using the payload. The same way, like I have the money. So data, is equal to payload, or in my term it's the money is equal to payload, and my address become the type. Even same way in our React, when we are giving any type, like suppose we want the product data, suppose we are calling the product API, then we are giving the product data. So type we will give the product data, and payload we will give the whatever the response came after the after calling the API, that we will do over here the payload, and we will dispatch this to reducer. Okay. What we will do? Okay, so what we will do, after calling see, after giving the data type and data payload, what we will do, we will do the dispatch. What we are doing this, let's make it dispatch this one, give this name as dispatch. Dispatching what? Dispatching type and payload. So if you dispatch, like, so I have what to say, I have just submitted my envelope. On top we have type, means my address, inside the envelope I put the money. Here you have the payload, that is carrying some user data or product data based on your type. Okay, now you dispatch that. So that will go to the reducer. That will go to the reducer, means suppose I have sent money to my address. Okay, so currently I am in other city. Now I am sending money in other city and another city. So there will some courier or something, some services, right? That will dispatch, that will take data my envelope to that particular place. So let's assume that reducer is that particular place where all the action dispatch is coming over there. Okay, so what will happen? X reducer will take two things. Reducer will take two things. One is previous state, previous state plus whatever the action you sent, whatever the action you have sent. Reducer will take two things, previous state and action. Means suppose I am going to send money to my parents, means this is my action, this is my action, that type and payload is coming, means that envelope is my action that reached my nearest hub. Okay, so that is reducer. So here reducer will check, like on the same address, suppose I have sent uh, like um, money, but some other person like my relative, or my brother or my sister can also send, someone also send to my parent. Okay, so for that particular address, for particular place, is there any state, or in any state is pending, like if courier services are there, right? They will not go every time, right? Okay, suppose there are four parcel, it will not come four time, it will come on one time, on it will dispatch all four parcel at same time. So that's why he will check the previous state. Is there any parcel, or is there any data for that particular type of action, for particular person? If there any data, if data is there, then it will take the previous data and action also. Okay, so reducer will take two things, previous state and action, and based on action type. Okay, based on action type means, like if I am giving my address type, so it will go to that like my address type. Suppose at same time me, Gaurav, another person are sending the dispatching the action. So in reducer, what we will get? We will get multiple type of address, like Gaurav home's address, mine home address, Mayank home address, right? Like multiple address. So it will like check, like for which for like for suppose I have to send for the mine, right, or some Mayank address. So it will compare with the type, like okay, which address, which envelope will go. So here we will take the based on type, it will compare with type on, it will store to the some place where the suppose here you are using that user or product. So here once it will reach here, so it will take okay, we have to keep this in product bucket, so it will keep inside that. Okay, we have the reducer. So first of all, we'll call that, we used to call the action. Oh no. Okay, so these are the part only. So uh, this I have given the reference like redux inside that action, reducer and a store, and how it's performed. Okay, so first of all we can say redux, react and redux both are a different library. So suppose we are going to use it, then we have to connect these two first, right? We have to connect these two first. Okay, that we have to connect this first, so we'll come on that. Otherwise we can't use it, because react and redux both different library. How we will use it? So we will use some middleware. Okay, we'll use some middleware. Okay, here we can also connect, like we will install that react redux. There is also one library called react redux and redux-thunk. This all library we will learn in next class, but today we'll learn the concept behind this. So again, just give me a minute. Okay, okay, so hmm. so yeah, so first of all, this is the react, this is the redux, and these are the visualization of this redux, how we are going to use it. So first of all, we'll check react is a different library, redux is different library. So why we use redux? Redux we can use to fix the props drilling concept. And what is redux? So redux is a central store management, or central state management, or must, you can directly say state management library. Here you can manage whole application state within one container or one store. So it's provide only single store. Inside that there will be a more than like um, it will it's depend on your action, like 1,000 any kind of action you are performing. The same way, like there are multiple data to a store. Okay, so I will let you know how we are going to do. So first of all, okay, so now do you we take the example of, like suppose I have to send money. So that was example to how we were dispatching this data and how this performing that like all the steps, so that we know. Now we will come to the data. So first of all, suppose I have four view. Cool. Let's take three. User. Okay. Product. And you can give any name like books. Cool. Or you can say other things like cart or something, some different thing you can give. Okay, now we have to create this component called user, product and cart. Okay, and we have to use redux. So what we have to do? We have to create three action. Three action means user action. Here we will write, here we am going to write user action. product action and cart action. We'll create three action, and all action have that type and payload. Type, like type, what we will give, the user type, product type, a cart type, like that you can give. Payload will be the data of these three API, like we will call these three API, or else we can do hard code also. So this will be type and data will dispatch to the reducer. Okay, so again we will have that few things like user reducer, same way product reducer, cart reducer. Okay, we'll create three reducer. Now we will create a store. So for a store we need to combine these all reducer. We need to combine all the reducer. So there will be one combined reducer. So action, suppose we have to create action. So how we will do that? Let's take an example of this. So suppose you are going to create a store. So a store will take two things. Okay, there is one method called create a store. Cool. And it will take two things. First it combine the reducer. Combined reducer means you can combine all the reducer over here. Oh no, like I'm giving all means all three, and here we will give one more thing like apply middleware. We'll use thunk. We'll come on this, like this we were creating that a store. How we were creating the store? So we are combining all the reducer, and we are applying one middleware. So first of all we have three component. We have uh, three component, that is user, product and cart. For all three we have to create three action also, like user action, product action and cart action. So what cart action will do? Action will give only the instruction. Suppose you are calling the user API. After calling the user API you are getting the response. So we'll create two things, type and payload. Type will be user list, payload will be the whatever the API you called, that response data. Then you will dispatch to the reducer. And here what we will create? Here we will create user reducer. That will take that will take two things. One is previous state and action. So it will take, okay, for action there is a data or not, and then it will compare with the action. Whatever the value it will store to the user, like it will assign to the user reducer, and the same way like product and cart. Then we'll create one store. How we will create a store? With the help of create a store function. And create a store function will take two things. It will combine all the reducer, like suppose you are using 100 or 200 reducer, so it will combine all the reducer, and also it will take one middleware. Okay, the middleware part we will take later. Cool. So how we will connect these two, we'll also take an example of this. Okay, So we'll show today, but tomorrow onwards we will create this. Okay. There will be some redux, yeah, redux hook. Cool. Okay. So as I told, there will be action, reducer, and there is a store also. Okay. Somewhere we have created a store also. So we'll check this. Cool. So let's go to the action first. Okay. So like we have product action. So product action we have. So here what we are doing? We are calling one API. After getting the data, what we are doing? Dispatching the things. Like dispatch, we have given type. Type we have given the product list, and payload we have given whatever the response data can. We are sending this to product. Okay. So we have finally we have this. There is one action, and we are what we are dispatching product list and response.data in which manner, like type and payload. In type of payload we are dispatching to the, we'll create one more duplicate of this. Okay, now we'll go to the reducer. So which section we were checking? Product. So we'll we here we came to the reducer. We have created we have created multiple. Let's go to the product reducer. So as we discuss over here, a reducer will take two things. What will take? Previous state and action. Okay. So we'll go to here. Okay. So this will take two things. Previous state or action. Means previous state, there is some initial state will be there regarding the product. So as of now product is empty. Okay. So so it will take the either data will be there. If data is there, it will take data, otherwise it will be empty. And also we were taking the action. Now we were using the switch case statement. So just go through the switch case statement by yourself. It's nothing like a big thing. Like here we will switch, we will take that type action dot type, whatever the action you dispatch. So in action, what are the things you, these are your action you dispatch as. So inside the action there is a type and payload. So what you did, you were checking the condition. If like here action dot type is equal to product list, then we will save the whatever the data it's coming inside that product. Okay. The same way we have user reducer also. The same way it taking two things. Even on action we have created one, like get user action we have created. Inside that we are passing user list and response data. So we will check this whatever the type we have set, only based on that we are using the condition. So see, if user list, the name is matching, whatever the type we have created, the same type we were doing the condition. If user list is there, then we will save to the user list. Okay. The same way we are doing for other also, like art reducer also. Now what we do, we are combining all the reducer. Either you can do while creating your component, like what I did. If you go here, while creating the store you can combine, or else you can combine somewhere and use it. So what I did, I use combined reducer, that is the coming from the library called redux, and we are combined all the reducer, and name we have given is reducer. Okay. As of now we have this. Okay, let's make one more duplicate. We'll go to the this app.js. Here either you can create a different file. I am using inside the app.js. Here you can check. Yeah, here you will check create a store, that is a method coming from, you can check over here. Yeah. So first of all we have imported all the, you can check, we have imported all the reducer that we combined. See what was the name of this reducer, and we have come inside that reducers, we have combined all three reducer at same point, and we have imported this. Okay, we have imported this. Cool. Now we can check, like here we have imported. If you need, you can check over here. Now suppose we want to create a store, so that create a store coming from the redux, you can check. Okay, cool. Now with the help of create a store function, we are combining, this is the combined reducer, and this is the apply middleware also coming from the redux, and this is the thunk middleware we are going to use. Okay, and thunk came from the redux thunk library. We'll explain you tomorrow each and everything. So this way we are creating the store. For today I will teach this much. Tomorrow we'll continue with this step. If you want to work on this, just take a clone of this redux hooks. I will tomorrow I will share that link. So today I will share these two. Okay, cool. Just go through the recorded video. Hopefully the audio will work. If it not work, then I will record one more time and send. Okay. Okay everyone, this is the really cool concept. Just go through the videos, just go to the whatever the I will share that uh, paint diagram, and just try to correlate these two. Okay, then we will connect tomorrow, and we'll work on the redux, started working on the redux project. Okay everyone.